What is up, fellas? Before I get to the excellent news, because watch out, no one is putting up better Heisman numbers than Iowa's B.J. Simmons. No shit. The man already has, 49 touchdowns in 8 games. It's unreal. It's unreal. It is fucking unreal. More than 6 total touchdowns a game. But fellas, I recently got back from Cancun, and I'm officially engaged. So, kudos to me. Not kudos to my girlfriend. Well, my fiance now. Considering, I'm privileged to have her. I don't know if she's privileged to have me. But let's cut straight to the video games. B.J. Simmons, 49 total touchdowns, 2,400 yards through the air. So he's averaging more than 300 yards a game so far. 8-0, 8 games so far. Number 1 team in the country. 20 touchdown passes. And then we're also looking at, 29 touchdown passes. And then 20 rushing touchdowns. Right behind him is the all-purpose player, wide receiver number 88 for Iowa. He's been getting a touchdown pretty much every game as well. Whether that's special teams, receiving touchdown, then right there, wide receiver number 13 from Michigan, DeMarco Murray with Oklahoma, and then Gerard Johnson stirring things up for Texas A&M. The team hasn't been doing incredibly well. Just got ball stomped by Oklahoma. But Iowa right here, so it's 9 games. And 9 games. This is the 10th game right here, and it will be against an 8-1 Northwestern team. Only 24th in the country. But you got an undefeated, at least in conference play, Ohio State team. But number 1 in the country, Iowa Hawkeyes. Number 2 right behind them, Oklahoma. I believe that's going to be Sam Bradford, the likes of DeMarco Murray. Maybe Malcolm Kelly, if I remember correctly. I don't know. But sick-ass team, Texas right there at number 5. Florida State 6, Notre Dame 9, and then USC right behind Notre Dame. But looking at the end of season awards, and just pretty much, I think, right now it's semi-finalist, if I'm correct, and then it'll cut to finalists. So there's opportunities for the top 12 in each of these to change. Right here, I mean, best wide receiver in the country, we'll have to see. I think I'm pretty sure, no, it's not even wide receiver number 88. He is doing lots and lots of things, but it's just weird to me. Why would you have a guy that is number 2 in the Heisman? He's only number 2, frankly, with 2,000 all-purpose yards in 9 games. And that's because he's behind record pace B.J. Simmons. Again, I don't get it, but it is what it is. Iowa, with this team, pretty solid offensive line, so we got a couple guys right there in the awards as well. But B.J. Simmons, top of the Maxwell, top of the Heisman Award, and top of the O'Brien. Right here, Marcus Benson, pretty much the unsung hero for this defense, a guy that came in and started as a true freshman. Now he's there as a sophomore, getting things done for the Lombardi or Bednarik, I don't know. I don't remember, but right there, Mr. Peterson with Texas A&M, who he's balling out in the A&M dynasty. But again, number 1 returner in the country, it makes sense. Number 2 right there for Heisman. He's getting things done. But speaking of getting things done, it's another nice little matchup right here for Big Ten play. Brad Nessler, Kirk Herbstreit, Lou Corso, the usual suspects for this commentary for NCAA 08. This Iowa team, number 1 in the country, going up against 24 Northwestern. Is this a pretty underrated team? We'll have to see, but it's going to be cold weather here near Lake Michigan in Illinois. Iowa 6-0 in conference play, 9-0 on the season. I believe they're on a 30 or something game winning streak at this point, maybe just at the high 20s, low 30s. But again, a team that has not lost since 3 games left in the freshman season of B.J. Simmons. 29 touchdowns. Again, the interceptions always tend to be high with this guy. The decision making isn't perfect, but we're doing some Johnny Manziel type shit, and we're doing it on a Tim Tebow pace. Let's see what he brings to the table today, fellas. B.J. Simmons and the boys here at the coin toss. He's not even a captain on this team for some reason, but Junior, what's he going to be able to do today? What's he going to be able to do at the end of the season? We're definitely sending this man to the NFL at some point. No reason to think otherwise. And a flag on this play right here after the incomplete. It was a first down on the previous one. It's going to be holding by Northwestern. If there's any reason, I know they're at home, but they're going to need as many breaks as possible. And speaking of break, what a nice little stop right there by D tackle number 56. As this Iowa team holds on. Or actually, no, Mr. Newsom is back for this team. Still missing left end number 94. Guy's the absolute stud on this defensive line. But right here, first play from scrimmage for this Iowa offense. Nothing going for it. And B.J. Simmons here on the play action. What's going to go down right here? And B.J. Simmons throws an absolute rocket. It's going to be a nice first down. There is a flag on the play, though. Is it roughing the passer? Is it holding? Here on 2nd and 8, we're going to cut it to the field. Unfortunately, it's going to be holding. It should be, the left side of this line, I believe. But throwing it down. Check down to halfback number 31. A guy that he's starting to get a little bit more involved in this offense. Not doing too much rushing-wise, but still, I mean, you got the likes of B.J. Simmons easily leading the nation in broken tackles as well. Should have been picked off. I messed up. Maybe just too much space right there to try to pick it off. But overall, just this quarterback's having a nice start to this game. He's no mistakes so far. It's been more so pressure against him and then a solid run. Another broken tackle since he, just no big fucking deal over here. Mr. Benson over here tried to tackle him. But, again, he places it where he needs to. But halfback number 25 in traffic, not able to come down with that one. It's going to lead to a 4th down opportunity, which is going to lead to a sack by D tackle number 63. A game with two teams that I'd imagine, you got a star quarterback, obviously on the Iowa side with B.J. Simmons, and this quarterback number 12 looks pretty solid as well. Both teams with at least 8 wins, just 1 loss for this Northwestern team. And then right here, slow start for the offenses. But again, a guy, when you run the option on the outside, he can break tackles, make highlight moves, but he was not touched on this play at all. Beautiful, beautiful blocking right there by the wide receivers on Iowa. These guys have been so solid. I mean, it's just a run-first offense in general, with just, kind of when you think about Iowa's offense. But only 2 rushes today so far by B.J. Simmons. 68 yards after he had just pretty much a miserable rush on that previous one. And then right away after this, it's going to be a fumble picked up by the special teams. No need to review this one. Quite obvious it was a fumble. No challenge on it either. But unfortunately, with the highs do come some lows. And it's going to be a bad choice by B.J. Simmons. Probably a bad choice of play by myself. Probably, just not a good play choice. Probably should have just ran the ball, have most security. I know that's your star player, B.J. Simmons. He's most likely not going to get touched on this play. Way too fast for the defensive lineman. And then I lead the wide receiver in the piss poor direction, and it's going to lead to a turnover, a costly turnover, I may add, because now Northwestern is moving down the field, fullback getting involved, number 35 with the first down catch. And then bam, wide receiver number 5. This guy's going to be a problem right here, already showing he's a problem. For a team coming into this season, this Iowa defense has been so solid for the first 2 seasons up front in the front 7. Coming into this season, we have a couple Thorpe Award guys, pretty talented dudes as well. And unfortunately, it's going to lead to just some bad play by these guys that are expected to do well. They're more talented on the secondary, but they're giving up way too many yards. And speaking of giving up yards, is going to be wide receiver number 88. We saw B.J. Simmons with a huge touchdown run. Mind you, I'm pretty sure it was 469 yards, if I'm correct. But there's going to be clipping on this one. It's going to be Iowa ball, play action. It's going to be another pass out to halfback number 31. Nice move. Not going to get him just enough for the first down, but on 3rd and inches, halfback number 31, again, just maybe utilizing the open field would be better for the option right here, but that is 0 for 2 when it comes to getting a first down conversion with the speed option on the left side of the field, especially on 3rd and short. But again, it's a game of mentality, and when you do not have the mental awareness, it's going to lead to more opportunities for easily the most exciting player in the country, and it's B.J. Simmons gets another opportunity here. 5 yards after the first down is granted to them, and B.J. Simmons, who's he going to throw it to on this one? It's going to be out to Mr. Norton. The man is right there for the, is it the Mackey Award? Is it the Machiavellian Award on that one? Because that man was doing some shady shit. Dropping that pass. Norton's better than that. I guess Norton heard a who. And then right there, he gives up the play. Bad drop. It's going to lead later on to a nice little pass to wide receiver number 88. Then B.J. Simmons going to hit his man down the field. Beautiful catch. Beautiful recovery right there, actually. The agility by the safety. Got beat badly in the air. Got beat on the cut-in. Thought he was going to run in for a touchdown, but recovers quickly. And it's going to prevent a touchdown. 7-7 still, but again, I mean, B.J. Simmons has so much faith in these players. Norton has been such a solid security blanket for him. I know he missed that catch, but he makes up for it right here. Nice touchdown pass, so that make that now 2 total touchdowns by B.J. Simmons today. Only motivation to tight ends? I don't know. Maybe because B.J. Simmons is pretty much maxed out at this point. Maybe no motivation needed whatsoever in his favor, but it's going to be a 7-point lead now. Nice little run by halfback number 25, 6 yards on the play. Then Benson and company, nice catch by Papa Roach on the outside, on the out. Should be a first down for Northwestern. And then here we go, just cornerback number 22 gets beat. It wasn't a well-timed tip for me as well to bat that ball down for the SWAT. But it is what it is. Mr. Brown takes it downtown. It's going to be 49 yards on just his lone catch. And what a big catch. But speaking of big, another big return right here in wide receiver number 88. We see him so far with 50 yards receiving. It's not even the end of the first half. And bada boom, bada bing. Let wide receiver number 88 sing. And it's going to be a beautiful touchdown return. Iowa now back up. 21-14 still. Tons of fireworks now with this half. Beautiful move by wide receiver number 5. The man is getting it done. Just on the ground as well as catching it through the air, but fortunately enough, Iowa's defensive line has been showing up. Right end number 98 in for left end number 94. I had to change up the depth charts and stuff, but tons of pressure. Nice sack on the previous one. 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions so far. But speaking of the ground game, getting him more and more involved. He does get it tackled, but it does buy a couple of yards on that nice highlight cut 16-yard rush from the play, and Iowa's going to continue getting down the field. B.J. Simmons, guy he's been working on his health. I know he's gotten battered up quite a bit, but the man has been pretty smart. The awareness is there. I know the decision-making hasn't been superb on the passing end, but it is what it is. And speaking of deep passes down the field, it's going to be, can't say it's a drop pass. It's a beautifully done play. But this right here is a huge play by B.J. Simmons. We're going to get a highlight on it. It's another touchdown. Make that now 3 touchdowns by B.J. Simmons. That 1 touchdown to wide receiver number 88. But just again, well utilized. Nice blocks down the field. 2 big blocks by wide. Make that 3 big blocks by wide receiver number 88. The man, I mean, he's been putting up stats, but the dude does so much more than the stat sheet. So it leads to a B.J. Simmons touchdown. Make that 2 rushing touchdowns on the young day. And then a man we haven't really seen many highlights from this season, bright outside linebacker number 42. Could make the case that he might be the best overall player on this team. I know B.J. Simmons is having a well of a career with this Iowa University, but overall, not much heard from right outside linebacker 42. Mainly heard from the likes of this defensive line cornerback. Number 10, though, gets in on the cornerback blitz. It's actually going to lead to what should be a costly injury for this Northwestern team and a pass down the field. Wide receiver number 9, a guy, as a freshman, wasn't very trusty, dropping a decent amount of important passes. But hey, B.J. Simmons and company moving it down the field. Unfortunately, though, just buying some field position. It's going to be 4th and 9. What's going to go on here? B.J. Simmons is going to get the rush, and he's going to, again, the awareness is just unparalleled, fellas. Over 130 yards on the day after that rush. And then huge play. Wide receiver number 88, make that now 4 total touchdowns by B.J. Simmons. 2 total touchdowns by the other Heisman hopeful wide receiver number 88. But there's a flag on the play. But fortunately enough, it's going to be roughing the passer. Make it 34-14. Huge swing to go for it right there on 4th down at the end of the half, and then to start off the second half. Beautiful first down run, and they're just going to give it back to him right here. Beautiful counter play. It's going to lead to, yet again, another first down. Just starting to beat down on this Northwestern team. B.J. Simmons on the rollout. Going to end up getting it out to Mr. Norton. What a move by Mr. Norton. It might have been the most Kyle Anderson slow-mo juke move possible. But also, too, we saw a flag on the plays at holding. Unfortunately so, what was seen as one hell of a highlight by B.J. Simmons and Norton. Unfortunately, just not good enough, and it becomes too much in the face of this offense, which has been pretty stellar since the start of the second quarter today. 35 points already on 4 total touchdowns by B.J. Simmons and 2 by wide receiver number 88. It's going to be Northwestern ball. What can the backup do right here? It's mainly been these wide receivers against this secondary. Not doing amazingly well as this Iowa secondary today, but there is a clipping call. Seen a decent amount of holding, clipping, penalties so far today by both teams, but right there, huge first down on 3rd down and long, I believe. Quarterback number 13 still getting it done, slinging to wide receiver number 88 on that one now. Brown and wide receiver number 5 has been the main beneficiaries on the day. It's going to be another first down for Northwestern. They are moving and grooving down the field, and it's going to be another big play. Mr. Brown doesn't make it to downtown, but Mr. Brown is getting things done, helping this team move down the field. But on 3rd and 8, halfback 25, not quite enough, and it's going to be 3 points put on the board. Flag on the play, but it gets declined as bam, right there. Halfback number 31. So what are we going to see right here on the flag? Is it going to be another offensive line penalty? We'll just have to see. But 35-17, another holding. So make it now 3rd and 20 later on in the drive. B.J. Simmons trying his best to get a first down. Beautiful positioning by wide receiver number 84 is going to lead to a first down. And then a nice little hitch route to what should be the number 1 wide receiver in the country on awards. We already know it's the number 1 wide receiver in the country already. But again, huge juke move by B.J. Simmons. Not quite there to get the block this time is wide receiver number 88. But B.J. Simmons going to throw it out to his man, wide receiver number 89. Flag on the play, 2nd and 10 here in the 4th quarter. 35-17 still, and it's another roughing the passer. I understand if you're the number 1 player in the country, a star like that, you're going to have a target on your back. But just look at this. I mean, he just got done getting pummeled after throwing the ball. Make that 5 total touchdowns on the day. B.J. Simmons, 3 touchdowns on the ground. What a move. He was just dead in his rights. Is going to lead to 42-17. And beautiful moves. We're going to see 2 big highlight hits. It was play action here on 3rd down. Quarterback number 13 almost finds himself on the injury cart, as well as quarterback number 12. But 2 huge hits, D tackle, and then the right end, number 98, back in Iowa's favor. And then here we go. Another huge highlight. All it just needs is the one move by B.J. Simmons. Beautiful spin move. And it's going to lead to 6 total touchdowns on the day. 4 rushing touchdowns. Make that 24 rushing touchdowns. 31 total passing touchdowns. Fellas, I don't know what to tell you. But overall, I mean, this team just continues to get shit done. Has a lot to do with number 69 flipping these teams over and having his way with them, as it's now going to be 52-24 later on in the game right here. It's going to be another nice win for Iowa University, staying number 1 in the country. They do not face Ohio State this season. No, they do not. Already beat Michigan today with a nice win on the last play of the game right here, a sack. Make that 2 sacks now by cornerback number 10. But there you go. B.J. Simmons now 55 total touchdowns on the season. 31 passing touchdowns, 24 rushing touchdowns. This illustrious career is just going to continue. Hopefully it leads to 2 national championships for this Iowa team. And what's amazing is that quarterback number 6 is actually rated 94 overall. Just transfer, bro. Just transfer. As always, fellas, take it easy and see y'all next time.